Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Baltimore Ravens. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Let's go get it right here. Come on.
A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They go play action now. Wilson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Connor. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, Abdullah. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A 2nd down run for Abdullah. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And he finds Stills complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
They go play action here on first down. Throw left side complete. It's Connor. And he gets it down to the 32. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Let's go, 14.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Big jumbo! Big jumbo! Big jumbo!
Play action. Now Wilson. He'll buy some time right. Lets it go for Nelson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. Jackson now. Dancing to his left. Over the middle, complete. It's Jordan. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. He got 29 yards that time.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Gone! All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Now Jackson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. And he hits his running back, Tevin Coleman. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Jordan. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now a give. This is Abdullah. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football.
Gotta go.
Now Wilson on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's counter. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Detroit!
On 3rd down, Jackson eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And there they bring pressure from the inside and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is. But how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. A handoff to Abdullah. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. They'll run here. Abdullah. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
Here's Wilson, and Stills over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. From the gun, it's Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, man.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool him. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st down, Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Connor. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A really nice gain of 25 yards. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7.
14.
They'll try to run it in with Abdullah. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity map to go out the window, and they've got to go a little.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Now he's flushed out left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Gun! 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 We got three, fellas, we got three. Gun! 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 Gun!
Now Jackson on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56! Detroit! Detroit!
Play action. It's Jackson. He's going to air one out. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you'd think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Hey. Four down.
They go play action with Jackson. Buying time to his left. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Lucky 56! Lucky 56!
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Again, Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another 1st down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
throwing on first down. It's Jackson. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Jackson to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Jordan. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it first and goal. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll give it to him up the middle. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
What a great play and tackle. As a strong safety, you know what you're taught? That you are a hybrid player. You've got to be able to play the pass back deep, but especially the run up close, almost like a linebacker. And on that play, he took care of every responsibility.
Another shot from the 9 on second and goal. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Big play coming up. Here's third and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Jarrett Davis in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So the field goal there counts what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
Plays do you script coming out of the
most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now Wilson on second down. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards that time for number 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. And finally down at the 32-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Flush to his right. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Hey, check 51, check 51. 14. Play up, bam.
Here's Wilson to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. They give him a gain of 37.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They run. Abdullah. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And now if they convert the extra point, the Lions will have the lead. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Jackson. And he will find Scott on the right side complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Ravens on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They start the drive with Abdullah. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Again, it's Abdullah. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Come on, let's go. What? 380.
A first down carry now for Crowell. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. They run with Abdullah. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. They go with Abdullah again. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Here's the sneak with Wilson. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Loose losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Wilson wants to throw it. Flushed out right. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. Now a toss coming right side. It's Hammond, and he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Lions now. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Being chased out left. And it's incomplete.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle. Kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Tempo.
He's back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
And that last penalty makes his 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Tempo. Go. Slow down.
They'll look to throw. And Nelson's got it here right side. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Wilson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He goes underneath to Abdullah. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? They'll step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
So it's still 1st and goal, but now they get to try from a bit closer. They'll run it with Johnson. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow.
Russell Wilson now will bring his guys up to go for 2.
Wow. I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Here's Jackson. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. One final shot now. I'm not even sure he can get it to the end zone, though, from this distance.
That's going to take as much arm as he has, and you actually have to plan for the contingency. Maybe you're playing a tip, try and get someone down who can tip it up and keep it for your own team and try and get to the end zone that way.
Eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game